here. So welcome to day 2 of our 7-day challenge. So today is all about footwork, and you can actually do any of these drills with or without equipment. I like the cones just as a visual aid, just kind of remind me where I'm at. Now, what I hope that you did is that you continue to use these 7 days to build. So yesterday, obviously, we did a really quick routine to help get you warmed up. And then today we're gonna go ahead and get into one of my footwork routines. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my cones just outside of shoulder width here, okay? So I should be able to walk through the cones pretty easily. Now, for those of you that watch the YouTube channel, you guys are gonna be pretty familiar with Footwork Fridays, but we're just gonna take you through. So first footwork drill is what we call the pendulum drill, or you can also call it the shuffle drill. We're gonna work our pendulum step here, hit our 45 angle, our 90-degree angle, okay? And we're just gonna move through, move through, move through, okay? And now I generally like to do this for a 2.5 minute round on one side, and then I like to do some back work for a round, and then I like to do some kick work for a round, and then I like to come back, okay? So what I like to do for my footwork days is I like to incorporate them into my sparring training day. So I always set up a timer, okay? So you can go ahead and set your timer for however long you want. Like I said, I like 2.5 minutes with a 30-second rest, because most sparring rounds for us are 2 to 3 minutes long, okay? And so I like to just be there. Now, after about a minute or so doing this drill, make sure you get both sides. So, super important, okay, especially in Kumite fighting, like World Karate Federation fighting, or for point fighting, being an ambidextrous fighter is very, very useful. I personally have different tools that I like to use out of each guard. So I am normally a left foot or an orthodox fighter, okay, in front. And that's where I do most of my blitzes, most of my handwork, okay. My D side is really good on the left. It's also really good on my right. But where I really like to set up is on my right leg, because that's where all my good kicks come off of. And I like to, if I'm feeling pretty good, feeling confident that day, you'll see me switch to that right leg and put that right leg in front, because then it opens up my hook, my spinning hook, a couple other different things. But most importantly, what it sets up for me is my spinning back kick. Okay, so if you ever find yourself in a ring with me and my right foot's in front, you better switch, okay? Because if we're going right to right, that spinning back kick's coming, and it'll find you, all right? So just remember that. Be able to fight really well out of both positions so that you don't paint yourself into a corner if somebody's a little bit better than you. Have something up your sleeve, all right? So drill number 1, pendulum drill on the right side, pendulum drill on the left side. Now, what we're gonna get into next is our lateral figure 8. Now, one of the things that I like to do with my footwork is I like to make sure that I'm working my 4 directions. Forward, lateral to the right, lateral to the left, and then backwards. So this footwork drill is a really easy way for you to work steps in all 4 directions. So you're just gonna do a nice, easy figure 8, just like so. All right, and this just kind of, like I said, make sure you're fast on the feet. You get a sideways motion, you get a forward motion, you get a backwards motion. All right, and you just work through it. Again, set that timer and go. Set that timer and go. So we're moving through, we're moving through. Good, good, good. Okay, then, as I'm feeling pretty good, or as I've gotten pretty good at this drill, what I like to add is some lateral high knees. So you'll see me go over the cone and then initiate a new figure 8. And then when I get to my new starting point, I'll cut across. So I'm still getting that figure 8, but then I'm incorporating that lateral high knee raise. Okay, boom, to the right and to the left. And again, minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever's feeling clever for you. The hard part is remembering which cone I started at. So keep track of your steps. All right, so those are some good figure 8 motions. I've got one more for you. Now, what we're gonna do here we're gonna stack the lines in a vertical motion. Now again, you wanna be about shoulder width apart. You should be able to cut through your cones, okay? Now, super traditional on the boxing stance here, okay? I stole this from a boxing gym years and years ago. So, you're gonna move up like a step drag, okay? Move, 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 move. Just like so. Now the big thing that we're working on here is not crossing, okay? So when you step, especially on these lateral motions, that's a big no-no, okay? You wanna keep the foot moving. The foot that's gonna move is the direction that you're going. So if I'm going left, left moves first. If I'm going right, right moves first. And again, set that timer. Incorporate this into some other back work or some other drill work that you're doing. And then again, switch sides. So whatever we do on the right, we do on the left. And make sure you are just deadly from both sides. Now the other thing that I like to do with this drill is pause. Pause. So I like to hit my stance. A lot of us will kind of get into this kind of rhythm here where we want to go a little fast, and I find that that's okay, but I kick my cones a lot, all right? And so I only like to get this speed going when I'm feeling really good about the accuracy of my feet, all right? So now, down to one cone. And again, if you don't have some cones, a gear, like a piece of gear, like a foot pad or a hand pad will work. Put a piece of masking tape on the ground, okay? But I do love a visual aid. Now this is what we call our U drill. So what we're gonna do here, right guard stance. We're gonna pull and switch. And what I'm doing is I'm just drawing that U on the ground nice and easy. Now, once I've got my rhythm, that's where I'm gonna pick it up, okay? And I really do wanna focus on this bottom portion of the U. Okay, so I don't want you to try and V it like this, all right? I want you to get some distance here, work on changing where you're at in the ring, okay? Because my cones haven't moved. This is my fight line. I need to be able to fight in 3D. So I want to, if I'm here on my fight line, I want to be able to get off that fight line and then move, and then move, okay? Just working through. All right, so last of the equipment there that we need for today. Now our next one is a little bit of storytelling. So what I want to do right here, okay, now I'm trying to work on some strategy inside the ring, okay? So here I'm going to do a cut. Now a cut is anything that we do where we're moving to our strong facing side right here, okay? Now, if my fighter is trained, he's gonna initiate his own step to counter me so that he doesn't let me flank him, all right? Because if I start to get this position, I'm creating a strong blitz angle. So his next move in the game of chess is to counter my step. Now, what I wanna do is I wanna get him to initiate his blitz. So how am I gonna do that? I'm gonna cross. So I'm gonna intentionally hop change right here. So if he's been listening to his coach, and his coach has been telling him, anytime you see a cross you blitz, that's his cue to go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and capitalize on that blitz, and I'm just gonna sneak out the back door here. So I'm just gonna turn on a 180-degree, boom, and again, I step off the fight line if you're paying attention. So here's his blitz, okay? And I'm just gonna set him up for that nice little counter. So again, if I'm here, working in my set bounce, I'm gonna step, hop change, cut, back on the fight line. Then I'm gonna switch, step, hop change, cut, back on the fight line. Step, hop change, cut, and I just run this drill. Now, you can do it stationary, like what I'm doing, or you can just do it as you move up and down the ring. Here, I move back slightly. Here, I move back slightly, and then I can just switch directions, boom, and I don't even have to worry about where I'm at. All right, guys, so that has been day number 2 of our 7-day martial arts challenge, okay? I look forward to seeing you guys over the course of the next couple of days. Now remember, at the end of this 7-day challenge, we are gonna be offering a huge discount on our strength and conditioning emails and our belt training emails. So make sure that you guys follow through the end so that you guys get that discount code. Until next time, train hard, fight fast, score first. Asai.